Why does sleep get harder just when we need it the most? You've worked your whole life. You've earned your rest. And yet, night after night, you lie in bed tired but unable to drift off. Or worse, you fall asleep, only to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong again. If this sounds like your nightly routine, you are not alone, and it's not your fault. Sleep changes after 60. But the good news is, you don't have to accept poor sleep as your new normal. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 simple and science-backed tricks that can help you sleep deeply again, just like you did years ago. No pills, no fancy gadgets, just smart changes anyone can try at home. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching this from, and what time is it right now? Let me know in the comments below. Even if it's just a small, quiet moment in your day, I'd love to hear about it. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next time we sit down and talk about better sleep, better health, and better living after 60. There's something deeply peaceful about the early morning light in America. Maybe it's the way it spills gently across the sidewalk in a quiet suburb of Ohio, or how it warms the porch steps of a home in South Carolina where someone over 70 is already sipping their first cup of coffee. But what most people don't realize, especially after the age of 60, is that this sunlight isn't just beautiful. It's medicine. It's nature's quiet, powerful way of telling your body, this is morning, it's time to wake up. And tonight you'll know when it's time to rest. You see, as we age, something curious happens inside our brains. A hormone called melatonin, which helps regulate sleep, starts to drop. It doesn't disappear, but it's produced in smaller amounts and at irregular times. That's why so many older adults in the US, whether living in Texas or up in Vermont, struggle with falling asleep or staying asleep. Our internal sleep clock, also called the circadian rhythm, starts to lose its rhythm. It used to be guided strongly by light and darkness, but after 60, the signal from the sun feels softer, like a whisper instead of a shout. That's why we need to step in and help our bodies remember what time it is. According to the Sleep Foundation and Mayo Clinic, getting even just 15 to 30 minutes of direct morning sunlight can make a big difference. Not just for your sleep tonight, but for how alert and balanced you feel during the day. Now, this isn't about laying out like it's summertime in Florida. You don't need to tan or sweat or strain your eyes. It's as simple as sitting outside with your morning tea or walking the dog around the block in those early golden hours, somewhere between 7 and 9 a.m., is perfect. You don't even need to face the sun directly. Just being outside, letting natural light touch your skin and your eyes helps signal your brain to stop making melatonin in the morning so it can produce it later when the sun goes down. Think of it this way. In places like California or Arizona, where the sky is bright almost every day, people tend to fall asleep a little more easily, not just because of the lifestyle, but because their bodies are better in tune with the sun. But even in places with more clouds like Seattle or Michigan, you can still benefit from natural light exposure. Light is powerful. It's more than brightness. It's information. It tells your brain now is the time to be awake. And when your brain knows when to be awake, it also knows when to let go and rest. Many older Americans tell me they feel tired all day, but can't sleep at night. That's not laziness or age catching up with you. It's often your body confused about what time it is. And natural light is one of the simplest tools to reset that confusion. If you live in a city like Chicago or Boston, you might think there's not much sunlight here. But even stepping out onto a balcony or opening your window while you eat breakfast can help more than you imagine. And for those living alone, this routine can also become a quiet, sacred part of the day. A way to connect not just with the world, but with yourself. To breathe, to feel grounded, to start the day with intention and clarity. So tomorrow morning, wherever you are in the United States, whether it's warm in Georgia or chilly in Montana, try stepping outside for 20 minutes. Listen to the birds. Feel the air. Let the light touch your skin. You may not notice a huge difference on day one, but give it a week. Your body will remember. Your sleep clock will begin to reset. And little by little, night after night, you may find yourself sleeping deeper longer and waking up with more ease. This small act of meeting the morning light isn't just about science. It's about reclaiming your rhythm, and that at any age is a beautiful thing. There's a moment that happens quietly every night across thousands of homes in America. It might be in a quiet retirement community in Florida or a small town in Kansas. The house is dark. The clock says 2:14 a.m., and someone over the age of 65 wakes up again because they need to use the bathroom. They shuffle carefully through the hallway, maybe holding the wall for balance, maybe feeling just a little more tired, a little more unsteady than the night before. And when they finally get back into bed, something else happens. They can't fall asleep. Not right away, sometimes not for hours. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, it's one of the most common sleep disruptors for older adults in the United States. The medical term is nocturia, which simply means waking up during the night to urinate. And according to studies from places like the Cleveland Clinic, the risk of nocturia rises significantly after age 65. Now let's pause here for a moment, because many people think this is just a normal part of aging. They believe, well, I'm getting older, so I guess this is just how sleep is now. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if one small change, something as simple as adjusting when you stop drinking, could give you more peaceful, uninterrupted rest? Here's the science behind it. As we age, our bladder capacity shrinks, and the muscle that holds urine, called the detrusor muscle, loses some of its tone. This means the bladder signals, "I'm full," much sooner, even when it's not truly full. Add in the fact that our kidneys become less efficient at concentrating urine at night, and the result is more frequent trips to the bathroom, often just when we need sleep the most. But there's good news. You don't have to stop drinking water completely. You just need to shift when you hydrate. Try this: drink most of your water earlier in the day. Aim to get in your full intake by 5 or 6 p.m., and then after 7 p.m. start tapering off. That means putting down the glass of water by your favorite recliner, skipping the cup of herbal tea after dinner, and yes, even saying no to that bowl of soup if it's already late in the evening. This is not about deprivation, it's about timing. Because when you reduce fluids after 7 p.m., you give your body a chance to process and eliminate urine before you go to bed. Another simple habit that makes a big difference. Go to the bathroom right before you tuck in, even if you don't feel like you need to. Emptying your bladder fully before sleep is a small step, but it creates more space and more peace for the hours ahead. Many seniors across America, folks in Nebraska, Oregon, and right here in New York, have shared how just this one change gave them back an extra hour or two of sleep. And more importantly, they woke up feeling clearer, steadier, and more themselves. Because sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. It's how your brain cleans itself. It's how your heart resets. And it's how your emotions get a chance to breathe. So if you're someone who wakes up at 3 a.m. night after night, try giving this a chance for just 1 week. Track it in a notebook. Notice how your body feels when it's not being interrupted by a restless bladder. You may be surprised. Sometimes it's not about big medical solutions. Sometimes it's just about listening to your body and giving it a little grace with timing. After all, you deserve to sleep through the night. Not just because it feels good, but because a good night's sleep is the foundation of a strong, healthy life, right here in America at any age. There's something most people in America don't realize about sleep, especially after the age of 60. It's not just about closing your eyes and hoping for rest. It's about giving your body the right conditions to let sleep come naturally. And one of the most important conditions is temperature. Not noise, not light, but the temperature of your bedroom. In states like Arizona or Georgia, it's easy to feel overheated even after sunset. While in places like Minnesota or Maine, you might think the cool air outside is enough. But regardless of where you live, the truth is this: your body needs to cool down in order to sleep deeply, and not just a little. According to Sleep Medicine Reviews, the ideal bedroom temperature for quality sleep is somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's why that matters. As we age, our natural ability to regulate body temperature begins to decline. That's part of the reason why many older adults in the US feel too cold during the day, but strangely too hot at night. Your brain relies on a gentle drop in internal temperature to signal that it's time for sleep. This cooling helps stimulate the release of melatonin, a hormone that acts like a switch to start the sleep process. Without that cool-down, melatonin can be delayed or disrupted, and that's when we toss, turn, or wake up throughout the night. So what can you do? You don't need to blast the air conditioner or run up the electricity bill. Many seniors in places like Ohio and North Carolina have found success with something much simpler, like using a quiet, oscillating fan or opening a window during cooler seasons. You can also use thermal curtains to block out the heat of the afternoon sun, which helps keep the room cool well into the evening. Some people like a warm shower before bed, not just because it relaxes the body, but because as the body cools down afterward, it signals the brain that it's time to sleep. Think about your sleepwear too. Thick flannel pajamas might feel cozy in the winter, but they can trap heat and prevent that natural temperature drop. Instead, try wearing lightweight, breathable fabrics like cotton or moisture-wicking sleepwear designed for seniors. And when it comes to your bedding, many older Americans have told me they've started sleeping with a lighter blanket paired with a fan on low speed for a gentle breeze. It's not just comfortable, it mimics nature. It reminds the body of what nighttime is supposed to feel like. Because remember, for most of human history, we slept in tune with the earth, cool nights, warm blankets, quiet surroundings. And while modern life in America gives us comfort, it also gives us central heating, sealed windows, and stuffy bedrooms. When your room is too warm, even by just a few degrees, your heart rate stays slightly elevated. Your body struggles to cool itself, and your brain doesn't fully enter deep sleep mode. That's why you might wake up feeling groggy even after a full 8 hours in bed. So tonight, take a small step. Turn the thermostat down to 65 degrees if you can. Crack open the window for a bit of fresh air. Swap out the heavy quilt for a lighter blanket. And then just listen to your breathing, to the stillness, to the way your body responds when it's finally in the right environment to rest. Because here in America, as we age, we deserve not just more sleep, but better sleep. And sometimes all it takes is a cooler room and a quieter heart to sleep like we once did, and wake up feeling whole again. There's a quiet kind of frustration that many older adults in America carry with them each night. You lie in bed, the room is dark, you've done everything right, no caffeine, no big meals, even a walk after dinner, and still your mind just won't settle down. You start thinking about the doctor's appointment next week, or the bills that came in the mail, or how your daughter hasn't called in a few days. It's not just overthinking, it's your nervous system refusing to slow down. And that's actually something science understands. As we age, especially after 60, the sympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for alertness and stress, can stay active longer into the evening. This makes it harder for the body to shift into sleep mode, even when we feel physically tired. But here's where a simple breathing technique backed by researchers from Harvard Medical School can make a remarkable difference. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing method, and it's been used across the U.S. to help older adults fall asleep naturally without pills, without pressure. The steps are gentle and easy. First, breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, then hold that breath for 7 seconds. Finally, exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 full seconds. Do this for 4 cycles, no more, no less. You might be wondering why those numbers matter. It's not magic, it's biology. When you hold your breath and then exhale slowly, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for calm digestion and sleep. Your heart rate starts to slow, your blood pressure gently drops, and your mind begins to focus on the rhythm of breath instead of the whirlwind of thoughts spinning through your head. Many seniors I've spoken to in places like Colorado Springs, Tampa, or small towns in Iowa say they first tried the 4-7-8 technique out of curiosity, but within a few nights they noticed something. They fell asleep faster, or if they woke up at 3 a.m., they could use the technique to drift back into sleep more easily. That's one of the hidden benefits. You don't have to do it just once before bed. You can use it anytime you feel overwhelmed. Waiting in a doctor's office, sitting on a park bench, lying awake in the middle of the night listening to the wind outside your window. And because it doesn't require any tools or devices, it's perfect for those living alone or those who don't like relying on screens or gadgets at bedtime. In a world where everything seems to be speeding up news conversations, even the clock itself learning to slow your breath might be the kindest thing you do for your body, especially in the quiet moments when sleep feels far away and your thoughts are loud. So tonight, wherever you are in America, whether it's a cabin in Montana or a quiet room in New Jersey, try it. Sit up in bed, close your eyes, inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8, and repeat. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to give your body permission to let go. Because the truth is, sleep isn't forced, it's invited. And your breath is one of the most powerful invitations you can offer. There's something comforting about a quiet evening in America. Maybe you're in the kitchen turning off the lights one by one, or sitting on your back porch in a little town in Indiana, listening to the crickets hum in the distance. And yet, for so many older adults across the country, there's a question lingering after dinner that never quite gets answered. Should I eat something before bed or not? It seems like such a small decision, but for people over 60, it can make all the difference between a restless night and the kind of deep healing sleep your body truly needs. You see, as we age, our metabolism shifts. We don't process heavy meals the way we used to. At the same time, going to bed hungry can cause a dip in blood sugar, which signals the brain to stay alert or even wake up during the night. So if you've been struggling to stay asleep, the issue might not be your pillow or the temperature in your room or even your stress level. It might simply be what and when you last ate. According to experts from the Sleep Foundation, a light, well-timed snack about 90 minutes before bedtime can actually promote better, deeper sleep. The key is to choose something small, something that nourishes the body without making it work too hard. And that's where certain nutrients come into play. Take tryptophan, for example. It's an amino acid found in a variety of everyday foods, like bananas, oats, milk, and nuts. Once inside the body, tryptophan helps produce serotonin, which then converts into melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. And then there's magnesium, a mineral that supports muscle relaxation, eases tension, and calms the nervous system. It's often called nature's tranquilizer, and for good reason, especially after the age of 60 when natural magnesium levels tend to drop. So what does that look like in real life? For many seniors across America, it's as simple as this. 1 ripe banana sliced with a spoonful of almond butter, half a cup of warm oatmeal topped with a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a 4 to 6 ounce glass of warm milk sipped slowly in your favorite chair as the evening winds down. What you want to avoid, though, are the usual suspects. Heavy, spicy meals, fried foods, chocolate, and alcohol. They may feel comforting in the moment, but they stimulate the body instead of settling it. And that stimulation often comes back to haunt you around 2 or 3 a.m. So if you're heading to bed hungry, don't ignore it. Listen to your body. Give it something light, warm, and calming. Not as a full meal, not as a midnight binge, but as an act of care, just one more small step toward better sleep and better mornings. Because here in America, where our days are often full of noise and movement, those quiet, intentional moments before bed can help ground us, remind us who we are, and gently lead us into the rest we deserve. Let's take a quiet moment and go back over what we've learned together. Good sleep after 60 is not a mystery. It's a matter of gentle habits working in harmony. Start your day with sunlight, even just 20 minutes on the porch or walking through the neighborhood. Drink your water early and taper off by 7 p.m. to give your bladder a break at night. Keep your bedroom cool, somewhere around 65 degrees, so your body can naturally release melatonin and drift into sleep. Use your breath, that calming 4-7-8 rhythm, to quiet your nervous system and invite rest. And finish your evening with a light snack, something simple and nourishing that supports sleep from the inside out. You see, after 60, your body doesn't need more rules or pressure. It needs support, kind support, thoughtful routines that help it remember how to feel safe, calm, and ready to rest. So I encourage you to try just one of these 5 tips tonight, and tomorrow maybe another. Keep a little notebook if it helps jot down how you feel each morning. And if you're ready to commit to better sleep, go ahead and leave a comment below that simply says, "Sleep better." I read everyone, and I'm right here with you. If this video brought you comfort or clarity, please consider subscribing and share it with a friend who also deserves a peaceful night. Because deep rest is not a luxury, it's a part of healing. And no matter where you live in America, rural Idaho, downtown Chicago, or sunny San Diego, you deserve restful sleep and quiet nights. And yes, it is possible.